Hi guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, actually sorry for that. We are actually 7 o'clock, right? So today only one day manage it, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow onwards again we'll continue with the 7 o'clock. Okay. Okay, chilo. Let me start. Yeah, able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we are discussing about the last session. We have discussed about the instance types. We have seen it. Now we are going with types of instances. There is a lot of difference between instance type and type of instances. Instance type is nothing but it's a RAM. How much RAM you require for the system. So based upon your application, what type of application, it is a database or web-based application or data conversions, okay, video encoding, okay, what type of work you are doing it for that one. So we need to go and select the RAM here. Okay, so next thing is the type of instances we have it. So we have a on-demand instances. So next thing is reserved. And we have spot, dedicated. Okay, so on-demand instances are nothing but, so whenever you want server, n number of servers you required. I require 10 servers, 50 servers, 30 servers, n number of servers required. I want Windows, Linux, any type of operating system is take it. So whenever you required it, we can launch the servers. That we are going to call it as on-demand instances. N number of servers we required. AWS will tell that I don't have the servers. I don't have the resources. You take n number of resources, it will tell us to create the instances. Okay, so on-demand instance is nothing but there is no, like we don't have any restrictions to launch the servers. Okay, so in the UA part, whenever you see the on-demand instances, from here, whenever launching the servers from the management console from here launch instance, so these type of instances we are launching, these we are going to call it as a on-demand instances. Okay, so reserved is nothing but advanced booking. We are doing the advanced booking of your servers. So for our example, our project is confirmed. So we are definitely doing a project in the AWS and our project is confirmed. Then we are going to book a reservation of your servers. So what is the main use of the reserving servers? So you will get billing is very less. For example, you are spending on-demand servers. I require a server. So I'm paying 100 rupees per hour. For example, here we need to pay like that. Almost 70% discount will get from the when compared to the on-demand instance to the reserved instances. Okay, so that's the reason most of the company will follow the reserved instances to reduce cost cutting for their organization. Okay, so advanced booking, same how we are launching the servers, just we need to request the servers. We need to tell the thing like I want Rilex servers. I want to take the agreement for 1 year or 3 years. So how you want to pay it? Partial amount you want to pay it, full amount you want to pay it, or initially without no partial payment also, they will launch the servers. So once you do the reserved instances, they will give the entire details for you. What your instance details and everything. So they will tell your account. Okay. So that is the on-demand versus reserve. Spot. So for short-term workloads or temporary works, we will go with the spot instances, but this is not recommended in real-time scenario. Okay, for projects, if you are doing the project work, so we don't go with spot instances. Spot instances are like a bidding instances. Okay, For example, one Linux server is there. So you can bid, like I want to bid per hour, I'm bidding 20 rupees. Another person is bidding the same region, same MAD, same server, he's bidding for 30 rupees. The person who will bid more for that server will be allocated. So while you're working, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you are working. So if another person is bidding more, you will get automatic intimation that your server is going to terminate in 1 or 2 minutes. So whatever the work you have done in these spot instances, we don't have guarantee. Okay, so we don't have guarantee of your saving of your work. So it is kind of a bidding your instances. So here, if you are going with a short-term workload, 10 minutes work, 30 minutes work, if you are doing it, so temporary you want to go it, and if you want to reduce the cost, so here we'll get 90% of discount. And compared with on-demand instances. Okay, so here spending 30 rupees per hour, here we can send like that. Very, very, very lowest price. Okay, so for your spot instances, so these are the very low cost. We are paying low amount for the spot instances. So these are bidding kind of instances. So whoever bid more, that instance will be allocated. So if another person is bidding while doing the work, it's very important work, short-term work, 10 minutes work. After 3-4 minutes also, you may get a chance. So within next 2 minutes, your work will be, your server will be terminated automatically. Why? Because another server, this server is bidding by another person. So how to bid the servers? Okay, so come to here. Go to the instances, launch instance. So AMI, you know it, instance type, you know it, key pair we got, but next to the network settings. Advanced. Okay, so here we have the option called request spot instances. So if this server is considered as its spot instances, so you can click on this request spot instances, and if you want to customize it, okay, how much price you want to set for your instance per hour is there. So I want to send $0.002. Okay, so per instances, how it is like. Okay, so if you want to know the information, we can know the information from here. So here, this server, if you want to make it as a spot instances, we need to bid something. So I want to pay this much amount only, $0.00 for it. So if you want to bid more, we can bid like this. So if the company AWS is like accepting this bid request, so your server will be allocated and you can start working the server. If same MAD in the same region, same server, if somebody is requesting, what we need to do? So you will get automatic email that your server will be terminated automatically. So whenever you want to go with a short-term workload or temporary works, you don't guarantee that, we don't have the guarantee that our data will be saved. Okay, suppose you have done the 30 minutes work, but we got a mail that within 1 or 2 minutes, your server will terminate. So within 2 minutes, we need to take the entire backup of your work. If you don't take the backup, what are the work you have done till now, the data will be lost. Okay, so that's the reason nobody will prefer for the spot instances. So if you want to reduce the cost cutting, and if you want to give a try for 10 minutes or 15 minutes work or 20 minutes work, if you want to go with short-term works, then we'll go with spot instances. Okay, so finally we have a dedicated instances or dedicated hosts. Okay, so what is meant by dedicated instances and dedicated host is nothing but, so for example, this is a AWS data center. So our servers will be available in something like this is one room. So this is contains the Linux servers. This contains the Windows servers. So this contains another servers. So each host machine will contain some servers, right? So whenever any person is requesting it, so from the pool, any one of the servers or any one of the host machine, so this server will be allocated for us. When you go and click on the run instances, okay, so when you launch instances from the pool, it will be allocated server for you. But I don't want to go from the pool. I want dedicatedly one host machine. So this host, what are the servers are there? These dedicated instances are there. So I want to allocate this for my organization, entire organization. Like I don't go with the particular instances. Specific dedicated host should be allocated to for me. So in that cases, we can go with dedicated one. So we need to come here and we need to go with a dedicated host. Okay. So dedicated host reservation is there. Allocate dedicated host. So what are the family you want it? Same, choosing the instance and everything we are choosing it. How we are launching the instance, same details we need to provide it. How many servers you required it, quantity we need to specify. Instance type, AMI, everything you can select it. So these servers which are dedicatedly is for you only. Nobody can request these servers. It means out of 100 servers, AWS is having 2 servers you are requesting by your account ID, 2 servers other account ID, 5 servers other account ID. But I don't want to go with those options. I want to dedicatedly some servers are should be allocated for me. So this dedicated host, if you are giving means, so this is the highest cost one, highest pricing compared to all other instances. Okay, so if you take on-demand instances versus dedicated or reserved instances, so these instances are dedicatedly for us only. Means they are reserving, not only the reserving, these instances, you can only the complete ownership. Okay, so that's the reason the cost is very high. If it is charging 100 rupees here, so they can charge 200. Okay, so some companies, they will follow the, like I want to go with dedicated one. So don't want to launch again. I want to go with dedicated one. So in that cases, the cost is very high. Out of 4, so the dedicated hosts or dedicated instances are, the price is very high. Okay, so lowest price is spot instances. Next is the reserved instances. We'll get 70% of the discounts. On-demand instances, on demand, like how much time is spending? 2 hours you are spending, 10 hours spending, 3 hours spending, 5 minutes spending. So everything is how much you are spending, that much bill will come for you with the on-demand instances. But dedicated host is not like that. So we are getting more bill when compared to the other instances. Okay. So any doubts, any questions, guys? So in the real-time scenarios, most of the cases will go with the reserved instances. For POC works like 30 minutes work, or if you want to having a client demos. So urgently we require a server to set up the server. So for that cases, we will go with on-demand instances. So the client will be requested that I don't want to go with the on-demand instances. I don't want to go with it. Like whenever we require server, don't want to go large instances. I want dedicatedly for my company, I want separate servers are there. So the client will pay the bill. So we will go with dedicated. Spot is nothing but temporary workload, like 30 minutes, 20 minutes work. So we don't have the guarantee, but server will be terminated. But with on-demand instances, same work can be done. So for the cost trading purpose, we will go with spot. Okay. So they will ask in improve. Can you tell me the types of instances? What is the use case for it? So when to use which? Okay. So we need to tell all the things on demand, reserved, spot, okay, dedicated one. So by using these things, we need to tell the use cases when to go with each and everything. Okay. Any doubts, any questions, guys? Okay. So if you don't have doubts, then we'll go with the key pairs. Okay. Already people we know about the key pairs, but key pairs are very important here. So first thing is key pair is used to for logging the server. Okay, so generally when you want to log into the server, any AWS server, okay, we don't have username and password. Usernames, we don't have a password for your Windows system or Linux machine. So we require usernames and password. But for AWS servers, we are not using any password concept here. So we are using the key pair concept. Okay, so whenever you are launching any server, there are 2 keys are available. So one is public key, another one is private key. Okay, so public key will be residing in the server itself, and private key we are downloading it. Okay, so whenever we are logging to the server, these both keys matching, then only it will allow us to log into the server. Okay, so don't share the private keys. Okay, So they can do any miscellaneous activity in the server, then you are the complete responsible person for it. Okay. So once you get the key pair file, okay, where we'll see the key pair option. So we'll go here, EC2, instances running, launch instance. Okay. So here we have the option called key pair. Click on create new key pair. Okay. So we can generate PEM file or we can generate the PPK file. So previously we don't have the option for the PPK file. We have only the option to download PEM file. Now the recently they have added to the PPK also. Okay. So now I am creating one key pair file is a testing. Download PEM file. Okay. So I have downloaded one PEM file. So if you go to the downloads folder, so we have a PEM file is there. Testing. So now if you launch any server by using this PEM file, okay. So I'm logging with test server. So here I'm going with key pair name is testing. Okay, click on launch instance. One instance we are launching it. Okay, so this is server launching. So out of 7 steps we have seen, right? So what is meant storage, how much storage is required? So what is security groups, what is key pair, what is AMI, what is instance type, all the things we have seen. So if you want to do that, anything customized one, so we can do here, we can update the changes by actions tab. So we can click it. So if you want to change the RAM or if you want to edit the user data, okay, shut down, termination, stop, anything. So if you want to do the networking activities, if you want to do the security groups, everything we can change here. So updation part, if you want to do once the server is launched, we can do from the actions tab. Okay. So if you want to add new security groups, change security groups, these 2 servers are there. So you can want to add the 6th server also, add security group like that. Okay. So for every activity, if you are doing for any server, so we can add multiple security groups. For single server, we can add the multiple security groups. So in the real-time scenario, they will give the network rules for us. So we need to come to the security groups. We need to create our new security group here. So like create a security group, we'll create it. So this web server security group. Okay. So here we have the inbound rules and outbound rules. So if you are manually providing it, we need to add entire rules. Something like I want to add SSH. I want to add HTTP rule. That's it. Okay. So we can create our own security groups by providing the inbound rules. Okay. So now this security group I have created, I want to add to the server. So go to your server, actions, security, change security groups. Okay. So what are the security groups are there in this particular region? It will show all the things. Just click on add. Okay. One server can be attached. Multiple security groups. You can see test server. Go to the security tab. You can see. Okay. So multiple security groups can add it to the single server. Okay. So now when to log into the server. So now we are having the status check here. So the persons who are new to the AWS. So once you launch to the server, like when we are launching the server, we are selecting the AMI, instance type, storage. Okay. All these options we are selecting it. So as we told you that first step is AMI. Second step is instance type. Third step is networking. Fourth step is security groups, tags, storage. Finally, we have review. Okay. Operating system, RAM, in which network you want to launch the server. So what are the security groups? Means what are the ports and what are the IP address you want to allow it. So that we will define in the security groups. Tags, key and value pair. So it will not do technically, it will not do anything just for filtering your servers. So these tags will help us. Okay. So how much storage required for your system? Finally, we can review it and we can do it. Okay. So this is the way we can launch the server. So when we can launch the server. So this is it. Whenever you get the status check 2x2, so we can log into the server. Okay. So there are many ways we can log into the server. So if it is a Linux machine means the default port is 32. So all Linux machines, we can connect via SSH 22 port. So same thing if you go for the Windows machine, so that we are going to call it as the RTP connection. So that is running on the port 33. Okay, so if you are connecting the Windows machine means 3389 port should be enabled, then only we can log into the server. Same thing for the Linux machine. So if it is SSH port 22 is enabled, then only we can connect to the server. So connecting to the Linux servers, we require PPK file. Okay, so generally we will have the PEM file with us. You can see the type is PEM file. Okay, so remove all these things. Okay, so we have a PEM file here. So the PEM file is there. So we need to convert the PEM file to the PPK file. Okay, so in order to connect to the servers, generally we require some softwares. So first software is Putty. So once you download the Putty for your local machine, so this software help us to connect to your Linux server from your local machine to the AWS server. So this Putty, once you download it, so with the help of the Putty also, so if you type the Putty, along with Putty, we have Putty Gen also. So this Putty Gen also comes along with Putty software only. Just to go to the browser and Putty download for Windows. So based upon your operating system, whether it is a 32-bit or 64-bit, so we need to download that one. Okay, so just we'll go to the browser here. Putty download. So click the link. So download the Putty. So here we have a 64-bit or 34-bit x86 ARM. So go to your system. This PC is there. Show more properties. So once you click the properties, you can see the 64-bit x64 based processor. Okay, so this is my system configurations. Then I can go with x86. So this is matching 64X. Okay, so mine is 64 operating system. I can click here. So this software will be downloaded. Okay, so just we need to click on the double click. If you click and double click, next, finish. That's it. So once you download this Putty, so you will be seeing like this. Okay, so Windows button, click it, search for Putty. So now I go to the once you install it, we will type the Putty here. So along with Putty also, that one more software will be downloaded automatically, Putty Gen. So the Putty software will be connecting your Linux server from your local machine to the AWS server. It acts as an interface between your local to the AWS. So this Putty Gen will help us to convert the file from PEM file to the PPK file. So we can open the Putty Gen. Okay, so whatever the file load and existent private key file is there. So click on the load, downloads. Okay, where is our testing file? It is not showing. So it is looking for the PPK file. So we need to select the all files here. So once you select the all files here, you can able to select our PEM file. Just click this file. Our key will be loaded. So click here, save private key. Yes. Okay. Put any name, morning, 7 AM batch, AWS. Any name you can put it, download it. So now in this way, we can convert the PEM file to the PPK file. Putty private key. This is PEM file, PPK. So with single PEM file, we can create a multiple PPK files. So this is testing is there. Again, I can open the Putty Gen. Again, click on save private key. Okay. Otherwise, we can load it. All files, testing, save private key. Okay. I can give it one more name, testing. Okay. So with single PEM file, we can create a multiple PPK files. So we can use any one of the PPK file to log into the server. Okay. But if you lost this PEM file, then you will get a problem. Okay. So if you lost the PPK files also, with the PEM file only, we can generate the PPK file back. If you lost the PEM file and if you lost the PPK files, you can't log into the server. We need to connect to the AWS support team. So I have lost the PEM file. They will share the PEM file with you. Okay. So the real-time scenarios, if the PEM file is given to you, take the backup of the files, keep somewhere. Okay, now PEM file is converted to the PPK file. Now we can connect to the server. Once the status is 2x2, select the server, select the public key. Go to the putty, under the host name, enter IP address. Left side we have SSH is there. Just expand it. Authentication, click it, not expand it. Click on the authentication. So private key for authentication is there. Just click on browse. Go to the downloads. You can choose anyone, testing or morning. Anyone you take it, click on open, accept. So default username for all the Linux server is connected. So same thing I will go with another way, like, okay. So open the putty, SSH, authenticate. So now I have selected morning. I can go with testing also. We are able to log in. Okay. So now with a single PEM file, we can create a multiple PK files. So if you lost the PPK files also, no problem. We have the PEM file is there. So we can go to the putty gen. Okay. So we can generate n number of PPK files. Okay. So we can load it. All files, testing, save private. Okay. Now, final key. That's it. Okay. Any name you can keep it out. So this is the final. So this PEM file we can generate the PPK file. Okay. We need to remember the PPK file. So whether you have created from this or, so if you see the keys, we have another keys. Okay. Like that. This is a PEM file. This is a PPK file. You can see this is a PEM file. This is a PPK file. So if you don't know which PEM file, which PPK file, so for every server at the end, we have the details. Okay. So this server, we have PEM file is this thing. Key name is testing123. Okay. So for this server, the PEM file is testing. So with the PPK file, we can connect it. So if you don't have the PPK file also, so there is another tool is there called MobileXterm. So with the help of this tool, we don't require PPK. With the PEM file also, we can log in. Okay. So just go to the browser. Again, there is a one more tool along with putty. So MobileXterm. Okay. So MobileXterm server download. So home edition, you can take it, download it. Don't go with the professional one. So free version, you go in, download it. Okay. So the symbol looks like this. So once you download it, okay. So open MobileXterm. This is also one more software to connect your Linux servers. Okay. So here, go to the session, go to the SSH, select your server. Which server you want to connect it? Just go to the server here. Take your IP address. Specify username. Our username is ECT user. Advanced. Use private key. Select the key. So no need to give the PPK file. Just provide the PEM file is fine. Okay. Automatically it will log in. Already we have provided the username, so we can connect it. So what is the main use of MobileXterm is nothing but, so we can see servers, n number of servers side by side. If you want to work with 10 servers at a time side by side, we can see. So in the real-time scenario, with the putty, if you want to connect 2-3 servers at a time, so we need to press Alt tab like that. We need to do it, and we need to change the colors here. But here you can work multiple servers, 10 servers or 5 servers at a time. We can work it. Okay. So that's the reason we will go with MobileXterm. Currently, we are doing only one server. That's the reason we are using putty. Okay. So for putty, we need to go with PPK. If you are using MobileXterm other tools, so PEM file is enough. Okay. You can choose any one of the tool to connect to your server. Okay. So nothing you have done. Just open the server, click on server, SSH, post details. Now, if you want to connect to the shell scripting server, this server I want to connect it. We can start the server. Able to understand, guys? Any doubts, any questions?
No.
Okay. So single server in the real-time scenario, they may use any kind of a tool. We can't guarantee that they have to use Putty, MobiXT. So any tools are there, like we are using currently TechTia. This is SSH client. So this is also one kind of a software, but this is a licensed version. Okay, so currently in our training, we are going with the free versions, but in the real-time scenario, you may get a chance to with the Linux version. They will tell the software name. So go to here, they will tell the steps. You need to raise a request for downloading the TechTia SSH client. MobiXT, you can download it. Okay, you can download it. They will tell the steps in the real time. Okay, so our ultimate goal is to connect to the server. Okay, so now once the server is ready, okay, we got the strategy 2x2. So tell it which server you want to connect it, select that server, take the public IP and remote host. This is my shell scripting server. Same username, but here we need to understand the key. Okay, so for testing server, test server, my key is testing. But when it comes to the shell script server, the testing key is testing 1, 2, 3. So we need to be very careful while uploading the key. Select this server. So here I have keys is there. So we need to select this key. Then click on OK. Then we can see 207 server and 8.5 server. Two different servers. Like if you want to connect third server, you can connect third, fourth, fifth, like that. So if you want to work multiple servers at a time, so this is the best tool to connect to the multiple servers. So if you are working with single server, then we'll go with Putty. So here we don't have multiple stagings. So if you want to see, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, that's it. Same thing only. Connecting the server is way of connecting is different. We can use any one of the tool to connect to the server, to work on the server. Okay, so these are the steps are clear, right? So anybody have any doubts, any questions? Server launching. So there were some AMIs, instance types, networking, which network we need to select it. Okay, so now we have the one more concept called like user data. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Let me take the script. Desktop. Docs. Okay, so let me share this clear. So this one is clear, right? Yes. I mean, instance. So launching the server, we can do any ways. So if you want to upgrade the server, somebody will ask us to upgrade the server. So if you see here, so my instance type is t2.micro. I want to upgrade the instance to the t2.micro to t2.medium. So if somebody asks us to upgrade it, so only the launching server only we can do it. So if you want to update it, delete it, terminate it, stopping, rebooting and terminating it, all the things we can do from the instance state. Okay, but when it comes to the actions tab, we can do the n number of activities. Okay, so if you want to change the instance type here, so if you want to do the upgradations, we can't do directly here. Either we need to just then only we can perform again. So if the running instance, if you want to do the upgradations, so the options will be like, okay, you can see change instance type is disabled here. Okay, so why it is disabled here? So the instance is running instance, we can't upgrade. So now shell scripting, you take it, is t2.micro. So I'm going to stop the instance. So once it is stopped, then only we can upgrade the instances. Running instances, we can't upgrade it. So now the instance is stopped. If you see the shell scripting, so instance type is t2.micro. If you want to upgrade to the higher version, so currently T2 micro is 1 GB. I want to upgrade to the 8 GB means actions, instance settings. Now we can see instant type is enabled for stopped instance only. To which one you want to upgrade it, we need to select the respective thing. Okay, so now I want to go with T2.medium. Just apply it. It got applied. Now, then we need to start the instance. Okay, instance type is changed successfully. So if you want to upgrade your servers, so we need to stop the server and we need to wait. So if it is a production environment or anything also fine. So we need to stop the instances. Upgradation if you want to do it. Now you can see the instance type previously is micro one. Now it has been changed to the T2. So while launching the instance itself, we can take the instance type. But some scenarios like based upon your work of a couple of days, so this RAM is not suitable for this server. We need to upgrade the server. So what we need to do? We need to change the instance type. So updations, deletions, all the things will be occurred from here. Security groups, if you want to assign any permissions to the server, all the things we can do from the Actions tab. Okay. So now one more thing important concept is user data. What is meant by user data? If you want to run any scripts, custom scripts. If you want to run any custom scripts, like with my OS installation, I want to perform some operations inside the server itself. Your own steps, not with the AWS provided one. So by launching the server, once the server is, before the server is ready, before the server is ready, I want to perform some software installations. I want to do some actions in the server. So if you want to run your custom scripts, then we will go with user data. Okay, some shell scripting or Linux commands, what are the commands you want to perform it? So everything we can do with user data. Okay, so that can be done user data. So where this user data option is there. Okay, so this is one of the simple shell scripting. So just we are updating the system. We are installing the Apache. We are starting the server. We are enabling the server. And where www.html index.html is the default page. So we are overriding with our custom message. Hello world from. So what is the current host name of this machine? So we are displaying one message. Okay. So this script I want to run. I can take this script and while launching the instances. Okay. So this is user data testing. Okay. So now we can go to the advanced details. At the end, we have user data. Here we can write our scripts in bash. Okay. So yum update -y, yum install that Apache 2 like that. Yum enable Apache 2. Yum start Apache 2. Okay. So echo welcome to Apache. So this message what we want to copy it. So that we want to copy it where www html page index.html. Okay. So if you don't override, the default page will be displayed. If you want to override, so we can put the data into this one. Okay. So this is a small kind of a script you want to performing it. Any script if you want to perform it. So we need to go with user data. Okay. Same thing in the Apache place. I'm putting this thing. Something. Okay. Same thing. We can copy it. Paste it. Update. Installing HTTP x86 for HTTP service. We are overriding. Just click on launch instance. Okay. So keep here. We are selecting testing order. That's it. Now, user data testing. So we have installed some scripts. So we have installed some small HTTP service there. So if you are deploying any application, that can be accessed from browser. Okay, so if you open this server and if you open this public IP, if you go here and if you type it, if you press enter, so we should get that hello, welcome, hello world from that message has to be displayed here. So that can be done when the server is up and running. Let us wait. So these are all the activities we can perform with server only. Only for DevOps training, what we will do, just we will simply launch the server, select, keep a launch instance. But in the server activity also, we have multiple activities we can performing it. Okay, so all these activities we can do it. 7 steps we can do it, and we can run the scripts also. So let us wait. Okay, so even try it one more time. So the site cannot be reached, we'll get it. Why? Because let us see. So if you're trying to access this from your browser, let us wait. Okay, now we got the status check 2 by 2. Now trying to access something like 8080 port, we are giving it. So the site cannot be reached. If you give 80 port also, the application is not running. So why? Because you go to your security groups. So if you go to our security groups, launch wizard 2, what is our only we are enabled only SSH port. So if you want to connect the server port, we have enabled it, but I want connect via 80 port. So any traffic, come here, refresh the page. Okay, now you can see. Okay, that is the main important. Like if you are trying to reach anything, so that port which our application is running, like Apache or HTTP service we are running in the server, that is running on the port 80 port. So we need to come to the server and we need to check out the inbound rules whether the port is enabled or not. So anywhere we told it for every IPv4 address, means this is my local machine. From my IPv4 address, I'm trying to reach the AWS server. So if you want to go with other port, so we have to put the port number. So default it is running at the 80 port. So that's why we are putting it. Okay, so we can take this IP address, we can ping anywhere. Okay, so whatever the custom message we have put it. Hello world from, what is the host name of the server that we are overriding the HTML that we are displaying here. Okay, so in order to test whether the application is deployed properly or the server is able to reach it, so that can be accessed via your URL only, IP address. Okay, so this is user data that comes with your OS operating installation. We have provided a custom script and have installed that custom scripts. So whether it is working or not, we can check from the browser. Now we can see hello world from hostname. What is the current hostname is there? So this is 172.31.9.187. So if you see here, details, it's a DNS name. Okay, always it will be referred to your private IP, not to the public IP. So we can access via public. Understood?
We not provide the that file path. That
File path,
command.
if you're not providing means, so default index.html will be provided. Okay.
For that, we need to specify this path again. Or
yeah,
not?
No need to say the Apache default pages. If you SP images, if you type it, so you can see this page will be displayed. This page, Apache 2 Debian default page is there, right? So like that, you will be displayed this. If you are not providing custom message, if you are not providing this line, entire line, if you are not providing it, so just we are enabling start if you are doing it. So if you type your IP address in the browser, so you will be seeing this page, default page. So if you want to override this default page, so this default page is this one. I am providing my custom message. This one. Try with this one only. You will be seeing the default page. Okay. After that, you can add this line. If you add this line, it will be overriding the default page. Okay. So if you don't provide any custom message here, you can see this default page. Okay. That's it. This is for our understanding. Our application is running or not fine. So some dummy message we have given it. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understand the user data, right? So user data, security groups, key pairs, every concept is important here. Okay. So key pairs are very important. Don't list the key pair files. Okay. So now if you are doing any activity in the server or anything, so we are going to discuss about the next topic is volumes and snapshots. Volumes are nothing but storages. So how we are having the C drive, D drive, E drive for your system. Same thing here also we have the storages. Okay. So in the AWS concept, we are going to call it as a volumes here. In our language, we are going to call this a drives. What are the storage we are allocating like 1000 GB? We are partitioning the storage into the drives. So here also AWS is providing how many storage you require, how many drives you require. So you can create those many storages. When it comes to the storage section, okay. So if this is the default GB for Linux machine. Okay. So this is the Linux. If you choose the Windows operating system, again, our storage will be changed. 30. So default storage for Windows is 30 GB. And if you go for the Linux machines, it is 8 GB. So default, I will go with Windows now. So now the default is 30. I want to go with one more storage. Click on add new value. I want 100 GB. Add new value. I want to go with 400 GB. Add new value. I want to go with 500 GB. So how many drives you require? How much separate storage is required? All the things can be. It is user can provide anything default value. Default value is 30. User can provide any n number of storage. So if you require 5000 GB, it will be supported. So based upon our scenario, like our application is required 1000 GB, we require 1000 GB storage for our system. So as the storage increases, our billing increases. Okay. So like that we can allocate it. Okay. So for testing purpose, I'm going with 500 launch instance. Give the key pair. Launch instance. Okay. So this is the new instances. So you can go to the storage section here. Okay. Networking, security, storage. If you go to the storage, you can see. So dev SDA one is the storage. Okay, you can see. Okay, so dev SDA one is called as a root volume, like C drive. So if you want to go with other drives, they have in the naming convention like B, C, D, E. If you are adding new one, E, F, G. So while launching the instance itself, we can add the volume, or we can create a separate volume and we can add the attached to the server. We can do it. Okay, so now this is still attaching it. So we need to Once the server is check is 2 by 2, so we can see how many drives are there. So this type of volumes, we are going to call it as a EBS volumes. Okay, so EBS is nothing but elastic block storage. Okay, so what type of EBS volumes is nothing but volumes. They have categorized EBS volumes. So these volumes, suppose I have created a volume, we can attach to the single server only, this a volume. So if you want to add to the B server, what we need to do, we can attach one single server at a time to a single server. This, for example, we have created a volume with some spaces there, 500 GB or 100 GB. So we can attach one volume to the one server at a time. So if you want to attach the same volume to other server, what we need to do? So we need to detach from a server, and the same volume we can attach to the second server. Okay. One volume we can attach to the single server at a time. Same volume we can't attach to the two servers at a time. Okay. For example, we have these are one server, second server, third server is there. So this is a volume. Okay. So something like a volume name is XC. The volume name is SXC. So if you want to attach this volume to this server, a server, we can attach directly. So if it is available state, if it is not attached to any server, we can attach it. So same volume, if you want to attach to the other server, we need to detach from this server and we can attach this to another server. And if you want to attach this server, but whatever the data from here, you are writing it, so the data will be there in the volume itself. Whatever the data till now, it is connected to the A server. If you are writing any data from this server to the volume, the data will be reset in the volume only. Okay. So at a time, this volume can attach to the only one server at a time. So if you want to attach the same volume to other server, so we need to detach from one server and we can attach to the other server. Okay. So this volume can be attached. Suppose, for example, we have created a volume for Linux server. We can attach that volume to the, suppose this is a Linux server. This is Windows server. So we have attached to Linux. We can detach it. We can also attach the Windows server also. So volume is nothing but only space. It doesn't matter that which OS we are attaching it. Okay. So like that, we can see it. Now, if you see here, so for Windows server, we have storage. We can go it and we can see 4 volumes are attached. Each volume has certain name like B drive, C drive, D drive, and this is a root volume. So if you click on connect to the server, click on RDP connect, download the remote desktop file. And if you want to get the password, we need to upload the PEM file. Just to go to the file, keys, testing 1, 2, 3. So decrypt the password will get it. Okay. Double click this RDP file. So click on connect. Enter the password. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now we have attached the 4 volumes, each having a certain storage, 100 GB, 200 GB. So in your Windows machine, you can see it. Okay. So let us see the, if any problem arises, we need to see. Okay. Suresh, you know, right? How to connect to the Windows machine? Already we teach. Okay. So Windows server also same thing only. Just we need to, for Windows server connectivity, we don't require additional softwares. If you have the PEM file with you, just we can connect to the Windows servers. Like we can launch the servers, we need to click on the connect button here. For Linux servers only, we require a putty. For Windows machine, we don't require any additional softwares. Just to click on the connect. So we have 3 options to connect it. So one of the method is RDP client. So just to download the remote desktop file, and this remote desktop file, it will be downloaded. So in order to connect to the Windows machine, we require the password. So password, we don't have any password here. So we have only PEM file with us. Just we need to encrypt the PEM file. So then it will ask for the get password here. So click this password. upload your file, whatever the server file. If you don't know the file also, it will give the information here. The key pair associated with instance is testing 1, 2, 3. So that file, if you upload it, we can encrypt that and we can get the decrypt it. So we can get the password. Okay. So once you double click this RDP file, it will ask for your password. You can correct it. Okay. Okay. So download it. Okay. So click on this. Click on connect. Enter the password. Okay. Yes. So here we can connect to the servers. Same how we are seeing your local machine. Same thing we can also create a virtual Windows server here. So this is a virtual Windows server. It will take time because we are using T2 micro, right? 1 GB. So now the server is ready. Wait for 1 minute. Okay, let me check the security groups. Authentication is there, right? Let me go. If you are not able to do it, tomorrow we'll see how to launch the Windows. We'll see the volumes and snapshot concepts. Okay. Okay, guys. Tomorrow we'll see launching the Windows machine and how to attach the volumes, how to create a custom volume, and how can we attach the multiple servers, how to detach it, how to take the backups. Everything we'll see tomorrow.
Sir, at what time class will be start tomorrow?
7 o'clock, same timings. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, both the days it is there. Okay, we need to finish as soon as possible. So we will take Saturday, Sundays also. Saturday, Sunday also is available. Okay. So if it is not able to do it, I will share my own link. Okay. These people are not sharing. I will share my own link.
Okay.
So please intimate them. Try to start them session at 7 AM. If they are not able to share it, I can share my own link. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.